What up? Welcome to Iron Science Boxing Channel. I'm your host, Iron Levant. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about bridging this gap, man. Y'all people, a lot of you fighters just don't know how to bridge the gap. You're waiting for the perfect opportunity for a counter shot. You're looking for an opportunity to look really good when you're throwing your punch so you can woo the crowd. You gotta have patience, man. And sometimes you have to set your work up for these things to work. They're not gonna work for one main reason, and that's a lot of you guys don't know how to bridge the gap, man. So, your opponent, you have your opponent, you want to be close enough to land your shot. But your mind is, well, if I'm that close, he's close enough to hit me. I don't know why you're thinking that way, but people think that way. Stop thinking and worrying about what your opponent can do. Always focus on what you can do and what you're going to do. So, how do you bridge the gap? There are a few ways to do this, man. I often talk about having really good feet. You can feint your way. Feint. Use feints to bridge the gap or close the gap. You can fall short with a double jab. So the first one falls a little short of your opponent's face, and then you don't necessarily got to hit him with the second jab. But when you do that and you do that step, you win. When they start circling, you don't follow him. You cut the ring off. These are things that have to be implemented, and you have to learn how to perfect them. That when you fight a fighter that's a mover, you want to learn how to cut the ring off. You want to not be one of these guys that follow their opponent around. All right, bridging the gap is important, and also like when you're doing everything right, when you perfect your craft, and when you bridge the gap, you're not gonna let your opponent get away from you. That in itself is gonna make for an exciting fight. Stop thinking like, like guys nowadays, they don't think like what they're seeing. Like if a guy's actually boxing, they'll tell you that it's boring, right? However, when you're doing the right thing and you're doing it right, it's actually not boring. It's actually a work of art. Now, if you get the fans that don't like you, they have the biggest mouths and they'll tell you, oh, he's boring, stuff like that. That's because they don't know what they're watching. They want to see somebody just get knocked out, right? So you got to block all that out, right? You want to be able to bridge the gap between you and your opponent. Feints will almost always shorten the distance between you and your opponent. Master the feint, man. If you and your opponent are almost an equal stature, the one that's mastered the feint is usually the one that's going to get the job done, right? Work on your foot movement. Definitely learn how to cut the ring off. All right. If this guy, I'm gonna tell you like this. It's actually funny, but Ryan Garcia, if you watch him when he fights movies, I'm talking about cutting the ring off. All right. If you watch him fight a fighter that's a mover, he cuts the ring off real well, man. It's some guys have it, some guys don't really have it. In fact, when Albert Bell, the fight over the weekend when we fought, Mason started cutting the ring off in a way that suited him. People think, oh, when you cut the ring, I have to move around like this, and no, you have to do it to how your body is shaped. You have to do it in a way that it becomes ultimately your own thing. How you move, how you cut the ring off. This is going to enable you to bridge the gap and be a perfectionist at it. Training specifically for that. So between your fights, if you're going to have, like I said in my other video, a crouching dude, I told you, double jabs, uppercuts, going to work. The uppercut, it's going to work. You got to train. You got to really train it. If you're going to fight a fighter that moves around a lot, man, train on bridging the gap and cutting the ring off, right? To where it comes to the point where it's second nature. You don't even have to think it, boom, it just happens, right? So yeah, man, you want anything that's gonna help you against your opponent, studying your opponent. You know, it's so funny, you hear these guys talking about, oh, I don't study my opponent. My trainer does that. I'm like, man, shut up. You don't study your opponent, and this is exactly why you be getting whopped upside your head, because you don't know what he's gonna do. You're trusting your coach to do it. Your coach and your trainer should just be training you and you implementing your game plan for it to work, right? But stop with the I don't watch my opponent. You need to watch him, because guess what? Your trainer, he's not getting in the ring with him. It's going to be you. So you need to watch your opponent, implement the game plan. If it's a mover, got it, uses the ring, man, you have to learn how to start. You have to learn how to bridge the gap. Cut the ring off. It's a work of art at the end of the day. So, to the next one, man. Learn how to bridge that gap. And I'm out.